Hey, what's up, people? Hey, who's all here tonight? What's going on, Brenda, Mario, Corey, Ocean, Frank? Vinman misses the Chinese music. Was there Chinese music before? I didn't think of it as Chinese, but hey, it is what it is. Like the scratching. What's the scratching? Donna was first. Kitties fighting over the first. So now what? Joel's here. What's going on, man? Rum Dog, Barbara, the one, Mad Max, Ronald. I don't know anything about anything about any. Peter Udoka, Girth Mike's here. Mantan's in the house. Susan's in the house. Gretchen, what's going on? Damit is in the house. Look at all these good peeps. Silver, Connie, Moody, what's up, Moody? Emeka, what up? Jeff is here. 101st Airborne, I like that. Pizza's here. Frank, what's up? Greg, Big O, Richie. Wicked, BB, how's it going? Your dog doesn't like my intro music? I'm sorry. Did I put it? Maybe it has like dog whistles put in it. You never know. Oh, the scratch on the music. It's very, very DJ centric. 118th. What's going on, David? Market Watcher, how you guys doing? What a day, huh? What a day. Flippin'. NVIDIA is pretty much the entire stock market at this point. I mean, the stock market was dying. It was having a rough week. And then old NVIDIA comes along and changes everything. I mean, NASDAQ up 3%, S&P up 2%, Dow up a full percentage point, which is huge because the Dow is 39,000. This, none of it makes sense. I mean, look at this insanity. Look at this insanity today. You just gotta laugh knowing how fake everything is. But I tell you what, it just shows you we are in the midst of the most top-heavy economy of all time, and you know what happens when you're top heavy. That top eventually falls and it takes everything with it. So I hope those who are trading, those who like buying these big 5, big 7, I hope you're making your money now, and hope you guys can time when to get out, because I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. It will happen. It's just You can't have a market that's top heavy. It doesn't work. It's not how it's designed to work, and eventually it'll lead to bad things, but who knows when that happens. Kathy, you signed in and there was Joe Biden asking for campaign money. Oh God. That's like the ultimate troll to put a Biden ad on my stream. That's not fun. I'm not okay with it. Kitties, you got put in day trader jail for 3 months? What? What happened there? You got to tell me. Did you get in trouble for a wash trade or something? Mark, our NVIDIA ad's about 277. Yeah, I know. We'll go over that in a second. That is, that's some wildness. Yeah, let me pull it up right here. 277 billion in market cap today. Biggest ever single day gain in history. Blew old Mark Zuckerberg out of the water by almost 100 billion. That's just stupid. What else? What kind of analysis can you make on that other than it's ridiculous? How can one stock power the market like this? It just, this is, the entire stock market is so desperate for anything good in their eyes. Whether it's a rate cut, which now they're not getting for a while, in my opinion, They said they were going to be 7. Now they're saying they might be 3. And they're getting pushed further off. And the market is like, okay, we need something else to get excited about. NVIDIA. Let's pick a chip maker stock that was barely doing anything 2 years ago and is now the biggest stock in the world, the most important stock in the world. It's just, this is funny. I mean, it's so asinine you have to laugh. It's so asinine you have to laugh. That's how I see it. 20 times the annual revenue. That's right, Frank. What's up, Jasper? You're not sure, kiddies? KYP in the house. Dubois, what's up? Cindy Lou. Aaron, NVIDIA's up $30 right now in the aftermarket. Wow. Fed call, maybe. The bubble grows. Exactly. Is NVIDIA today's Enron? I mean, the difference is I don't think NVIDIA is a scam as a company. Although, who knows? Maybe it will come out. There was some bubbling about that a couple weeks ago. But I personally don't know if it could be yet. And it also, I don't think will have the same effect on the stock market. I think the stock market effect would be much worse. So, but yeah. Richie says, I like the trend on our stocks this week. That absolutely is the other thing. So, which I'm excited about because this is one rising tide that's raising up our boat, which is great. Because generally speaking, when the market has been hot, our stocks have not. And so this is a good trend we're seeing that we're being green one way or the other. Finger, I mean, very strong today, almost 10% up. GTI 7%. ZJYL, don't know what's going on with that right now, but I'm not worried. Let's see an extended hour. So nothing, I mean, just 1 cent change on Finger. But a good day there. These two are definitely regaining their strength, which is awesome. And I'm going to share more on that in a minute here too. But GTII especially is starting to show some good strength. Am I advertising for Adam Schiff? No. Dang it. I need to figure out a way to get the YouTube algorithm to not put Democrat ads on my stream. XRP to the rescue. We'll see. Huge dump setup going into March, Stony. It's very possible. Absolutely. It's very possible. In fact, let me share this one with you too. There's so much going on today, guys. I feel like I took 1 day off, had a little date, came back, and things just went absolutely bonkers. So here's, I like BAM Investor, not everybody else does, but I do like his model, and his model shows that there's obviously probably won't happen, but the setup says could be possible flash crash tomorrow. So who knows? I mean, this could have just been a 1 day thing. We'll see tomorrow, because I mean, one stock powering the market like this should not happen. And is it just elation for 1 day? Everybody buys in and they get all this top out and then they crash it. Who knows? But leading up to March, it definitely is getting interesting. I don't think it's a government prop up, David. I mean, they're happy for it, but this is the market itself, like all the hedge funds and everybody wanting to keep the market up, because they know, I think once it starts heading down in a big way, it's not going to stop for a while, because there's just nothing underlying in the economy right now is actually that good. Polyon's in Twitter jail. You made fun of Democrat propaganda. Oh my God, that's funny. Stoney says SPY to 6,000. Well, we'll see. At this point, I would say it's definitely possible. Is a stock market stupid? That's all. Anywhere on special dividend? No. I mean, they'll announce it and we'll all know about it when it comes out. Eat Some Seaweed says, I'm concerned for everyone's well-being. Imagine an outage in the middle of a trading day. I mean, you mean like with the phones? Somebody else brought that up and was like, hey, I'm worried that they'll screw us out of, and they'll be covering when an outage happens on our phone. And you got to think that the only way they can cover is if we sell. And so it's not like they're going to be able to to get out at a cheaper price if they give us outages on our brokers. They're going to need us selling. Remember, they took away the buy button on GameStop to stop it. They didn't take away the sell button. What's up, Big JR? I did not see a DBMM. I missed that one. So, Silver Mike, when you getting paid in MMTLP? You know, Ham said, he tweeted out that he was hearing people were getting offers for $100 a share from some brokers. Now, he heard that. He put that out there. I don't know anybody who got that, but who knows? Maybe it went to some bigger shareholders. Automags, you're at Caltech when NVIDIA was 22 post-split. Now I regret my degree over buying NVIDIA stock over $22. Oh, man, I hear you. I will. I'll look at DBMM here soon. Jeff, NVIDIA loans and sales ping-ponging between subordinate companies to fraudulently record inflate revenue. I mean, if that's the fact with if NVIDIA gets exposed to be a scam like Enron style, it will end up being the biggest market news of all time, and it will tank the market like we've never seen before. It showed today. We already knew it, but today proved it. We knew NVIDIA was holding up the entire market, and today proved it. That's never happened before with a single stock. Just never, at least not in my knowledge. No, that's wild. NVIDIA volume the day of earnings equaled about $49 billion. JR says that's crazy. I don't know what's going on with those high and low bids, Mad Max on ZJYL. No idea. DBM's 300% last 5 weeks. I mean, you guys see we're getting some runs here. Even Vocal's been doing pretty good, which I still don't think anybody's made their money back from what they lost before, but it's going up, so that's awesome. I'm happy for those people. I still don't trust Frommer, but you know, I'm happy those people are getting that. Too many commercials every time you try to watch my videos, really? Well, I've already had several people tell me I've been shadow banned on a few of my videos, so maybe they're also trying to chase you off with too many commercials. I don't control that. AT&T was down. I know. I tweeted about it. I put out a little short about it. Solar flares, they're saying there's no way in hell it's a solar flare. I'm sorry. If it was a solar flare, first of all, I don't really believe the narrative that solar flares do this that much. They always say that, but it's always very fishy to me that a solar flare could actually take out mobile, especially when it's tower to tower and not satellite dependent. But the fact is POS systems were down for pharmacies all over the place too. And this was very territorial where the outages were. I have AT&T. I wasn't out at all today. So, I mean, if it was a solar flare, I'd expect if it hit the Eastern Seaboard, we'd all be out. And it just, that kind of stuff doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't pass the sniff test. Why would Jenny do this to William? What did Jenny do to William? What did I miss? If you transfer your MMTLP shares, the AST, and there's a settlement, are you included in the settlement? Yes, everybody who has the shares would be included. I don't think the AST would change that at all. Barbara, it was AT&T that was out, heard from a former coworker. They think human error or on purpose. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's probably on purpose. They might be testing something. I don't know, but you guys saw that. I mean, we watched it and I talked about it. That Obama movie that came out on Netflix was all about the outages. And I mean, we've seen a lot of that kind of stuff come out before when they've tried things. I mean, think about like COVID, where they were doing the tests. The WEF was doing a test for a virus in 2019 in November, right before it came out, or the movie Contagion. Like, they like to telegraph stuff. So who knows? Who knows? But I think it could be. Jamie Dimon sold 125 million today. Wow. I did not know that. Why the silly talk about NVIDIA not remotely close to Enron? Guidance is... Matthew, I didn't say it was close to Enron. I was just saying that somebody brought it up, and so I was addressing it. Colin, my opinion, if ZJYL not squeeze the point, that don't think it'll squeeze at all. I mean, Colin, you can feel that, but it's still early, man. I mean... Think about it. GameStop, people were buying in 7-8 months before it ran. So And that was a relatively fast squeeze. So I just want it. We should get earnings next week, and maybe that'll do some. I would definitely not think it's over. You need 222 a share to break even on CRTD. Oh my God, there you go. Jeez. Big Jar, the day Ham put out the 100 per share offers for MMTLP. John Berta tweeted he heard the same. Wow, okay, I didn't know Berta confirmed it, so that's great news for you guys. It means it could be very very close. So they said software update in Los Angeles news. Kryptonian solar flares typically aren't a theory. They're very easy to prove. FFA would have been all over solar flare report. Yeah, it's not solar flare. YouTuber Nobody Special did a deep dive 6 months ago on NVIDIA stock. Oh yeah, they're cooking the books. Are they? Okay, well there we go. It was a picky solar flare. The sun was just like right there from millions of miles away. I just want you right there. That's hilarious. Brenda, I'm afraid it's the hedge funds doing something, waiting for a big widespread outage for stock. I'm telling you, I don't know how that helps them if there's an outage with the stock market. I just don't, unless they use it to sell our stock without our permission. That's what I don't know. Don't think, that's why I don't think it helps them. Lyrical, tinfoil hat. What if it becomes true? NVIDIA is a setup to protect shorts. For example, we need short, keep the market honest. Crazy topic about. I mean, who says? I mean, sorry, not who says, but who knows? There's so many thoughts. It doesn't. We can estimate all we want. We can guess on NVIDIA, all this stuff. What matters is what's happening, and we just need to look at it as it is and what it does tell us that we know for sure. What we know for sure is that NVIDIA is solely the reason the market is as high as it is. The market needed NVIDIA to have good earnings to rush up. One stock, and that stock goes up almost 300 billion in a day in market value and pulls the entire stock market up with it. This should not be possible. This should not be possible that one stock can do that to the stock market in the way it did today, especially when the entire stock market was hurting the last few days. I mean, FOMC minutes came out, they were hawkish, telling them that if cuts are coming, they're coming later in the year for sure. Okay, unless something crazy happens. But March, everybody's scared of March. In fact, let me pull up everything that's happening in March. March is going to be wild. It's going to be wild. All right, so this is what March looks like is possible right now. U.S. government shutdown. Is that 100% happening? No, it's not. But here's what's going on. Okay, the House of Republicans is coming in on February 28th. That is next Wednesday. They're coming back from their break. No, not Wednesday. What's today? Today is the 22nd. So yeah, next Wednesday. I was right. So they come in next Wednesday. They have 2 days to put a deal together to avert a shutdown. 2 days. And do we really think that's going to happen? I mean, it could, but they're trying to push that Ukraine money, and they don't want to. The House doesn't want to do that. Senate does. House doesn't. Border deal. House wants it. Senate doesn't. Are they going to be able to bridge that gap in 2 days? They're all on recess right now. My money says no. So I give it a 70% chance we have at least a shutdown of a few days. Okay, so there we go. That right there. And the market hates government shutdowns. Hates it. It's because they cannot predict what's going to happen, and the market hates that. And it's because a lot of that money can get pulled that they rely on. Because right now our entire economy is being held up by government spending. So I don't quite know what the Beige Book release means. I'll just be honest with you. Employment situation report. Our employment numbers are low according to their metrics, but we also know behind the scenes that's a lot of part-time jobs. It's a lot of people working 2 jobs. Wages are going down. It's a mess. Google just laid off thousands of people. Layoffs in the tech sector are huge right now. Then the big one, March 11th, BTFP liquidity ends. Okay. Now I'll add that I've been talking about reverse repo running out, and they just said that that's slowed down. So now that should run out towards May. So liquidity will be a slightly better in March than it would have before if reverse repo also ran out. But this is still going away. BTFP. So the banks, good luck, regional banks. Good luck after this happens. And then on top of that, personal savings was supposed to run out in March. Guess what? It already ran out. I just saw it yesterday. It's already run out. So then we got options expiration, FOMC meeting, and then VIX expiration. So March is going to be wild. March is going to be absolutely wild, especially if these two happen right here and this, this is already set in stone. So this is 95% happening. They would have to backtrack on it, which I don't believe they will. But this is, a toss-up. But this alone is massive. So there you go. March Madness, baby. It's gonna be interesting. So the market went up today, but they all know these things are coming. So it could easily turn around quickly. But like I said, NVIDIA for now, holding up the market. All right, let me catch up with you guys. I'm gonna have to jump ahead. Lots of comments. Thomas Dubois, I had a dream. All those cans of food I stockpiled will come in handy soon. Wow. Yeah, thanks, Brenda. Yeah, please like, subscribe, share if you guys like my daily recaps and witty banter. Some of you like the witty banter, some of you not so much. Honey Badger forgot to put up Bezos sells another $6 billion on stock on Friday, March 8th. Really? He timed out on the 8th? That's wild. Did not know that. ZJYL buy orders ran to dark pool but haven't been brought to light yet. Okay, that's good to know. Brett, Beige Book is Federal Reserve System publication about current economic conditions. Okay, see, so that's, oh man, about current economic conditions. Dear God. All right, so that's going to be actually a big deal. Is that a yearly release? Pain and suffering future. I know you guys, sorry. Did I go heavy in Lunar? No, I never even heard of Lunar. March Madness. Brett, it characterizes regional economic conditions, prospects based on a variety of mostly qualitative information gathered directly from each. Okay. Thank you for breaking that down for me, Brett. I had not heard of that. That's a big deal then, because that information then will be public, and that will affect the market. So that's a big deal. Again, March Madness, just keep adding on to it. Wow. Husker, feels like at times people overthink what's going on, makes everyone more anxious for no reason. We know they're playing dirty until it gets away from them. Boom. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Colin, I don't know what you're talking about. 5 years waiting on something. There's no way. Guys, if you think we're waiting 5 years for anything at this point, you're going to have to wake up, because this year, so many, if you guys have been watching me, you already know this, but I don't know Colin. He seems new to the show. But this year, there are so many things converging at once. So many things. I mean, obviously, it's an election year. That's the big gimme. But it's more than an election year. This is a year where either Trump gets in and everything changes, or we keep heading on this awful trajectory we're on right now with the Biden administration or whoever else comes in on that side of things. And it's not Republican, Democrat. This is freedom for the people versus top-down tyranny. That's what we're fighting right now. Okay, so that is coming to a head this year, and this is the make it or break it year for that, for America at least. And yeah, the economy is the next thing. Our economy is held together by duct tape and bubble gum right now. It's barely holding on. NVIDIA proves that the stock market is there, and the economy itself. You guys realize that in GDP in third and fourth quarter last year, over 25% of that was because of government spending, where we're in this insane amount of debt that has not been refinanced yet at these current rates, which will eventually come. And then that debt payment is going to just wipe out most of our budget for the year, or at least over a quarter of our budget. Just the payments on the debt. That's where we're headed right now. This has to come to a head. This is a year, I really do believe, I don't think our economy can make it past this year without going through a major correction. It has to. It's been building up to this point for too long. And now everything's on the table. It's we've reached an endpoint, and I truly believe this year is it. Now, it doesn't mean everything will happen this year. It does mean to me that things will break this year, and then they're going to have to be rebuilt. And so, but they're, oh, excuse me. Hi. Okay. Go be with Sissy, and I'll be out in a few minutes. Okay. Okay, then you got to stay right there. Can you close the door, please? Thank you. Sorry. My 4-year-old wants to visit. But anyways, this is a very important year, and there's no way the economy can keep going on for 5 years like this, or the stock market as it is, and our political system as well is is in a bad place. So the people's trust is gone. Nobody trusts the government on either side, and it's just, you guys better believe me, 5 years, it's just that's not happening right now. All right, so it comes out 8 times a year. Interesting. How have I missed it so far? Well, it's definitely going to be bringing out worse stuff this time than before. Husker, worst case scenario in my mind is after the election, Patrick cleans house. It's over immediately. What's up, John? Brett, with Bezos and Gates selling off a lot of their shares and their tickers didn't go down because now there's an influx of volume, makes absolutely no sense and stock price goes up. Fake. That is so true. 100%. Brenda, hedge funds want our internet down so they can cover without our interface. I don't think that's true, Brenda, because remember, we have to sell for them to cover. We have to sell for them to cover. If we don't sell, how are they going to get rid of everything? What's up, Janos? More like Scotch tape, says Robert. Yeah, not even good as duct tape. Yeah, I think Pedro hates more than Charlie Gasparinos, Brock, Purdy. That's the truth. Look, Pedro and I have a lot of fun going back and forth about football. Philip, you saw an article about immigrants joining armed forces. Now we know all this military is... yeah, and unfortunately, I think you're right on that. Brandonomics. NVIDIA is the next Enron. They've been cooking their books. So I listen, remember when that story came out a couple weeks ago that did hint at that? I do think that's possible, but that's going to be one of those where you're going to have to show me to make me believe it. And because it's really easy to make that assumption because it's the biggest right now and nobody's happy about it and all that. So she would say hi, Barbara. She's tired. Hey, Mommy's going to be home in like 10 minutes. You want to go wait downstairs for her? She'll be home real soon?
You stay downstairs.
Oh, I know, but Daddy's doing my show. Okay, so I can't leave right now. Okay, but you can go sit with Sissy or Trent and Mommy be home real soon. Otherwise, Mommy might not see you if you stay here. You need to go downstairs if you want to see Mommy. Okay? Frequent guests on this show, guys. Frequent guests. Here she is. Okay. Someone's going to sit with me for a little bit. All right. Anyways, so Nick, light at the end of the tunnels in sight, be ready. Everyone complained they should have bought more ZJYL. I agree completely. I love where we're going. When does the lying, cheating, and stealing come to an end with the SEC, says Kilvey. Kilvey, in my personal opinion, the lying, cheating, and stealing from them won't end until we get a change in power. But it might not matter. And that's what, because the economy right now, the market is going to make that determination and whether or not we win. So... Rumdog, your employer 401k said, I cannot move my company shares to cash until March 8th. What, are you serious? What does that even mean? Morgan Stanley gossiping about Finger, really? You think Univest get in trouble for waiting? I don't know. I think they have a plan. I really do. Can we see her? This is how much you get to see her. Okay. She's a good one. She's the youngest, so she gets away with everything. She's already had her teeth brushed, Kilby, so no ice cream tonight. Freaking gets new co-host. You don't want to know her thoughts on the economy. It gets pretty wild. It gets pretty wild when she starts talking about the market. I just don't know. I actually got into GTI because of her. I'm just saying. She pointed and was like, I like that one. That's not true, guys. I probably scared a bunch of you right now. Ricky Williams said yesterday GTI was a crap company. I don't know what's going on with William. I really don't. I love William. I get along great with William. I haven't been watching a show lately. I've just been working, and so I haven't heard his comments. But GTI on its own as a company hasn't done anything in a while, and it's very frustrating for a lot of us. Some of it's old leadership, some of it is bad luck, and all that's together. It has not changed the value of it as a stock or as a short squeeze setup at all. None of that's changed. Remember, GameStop ran when it was about to go bankrupt. It was in terrible positions. One of the reasons it was shorted so much. So that has not changed the value of it. Okay, so for why we're in it, but it slows it down for sure. It'd be a lot better if they were doing all kinds of crazy things and making the company more valuable. So hey, that's it. Okay, you gonna color? Okay, but anyways, but I think William's frustrated. I do. This has gone on longer than any of us thought. And, I think William needs a win just like the rest of us. So that's what I think. She is a little princess, isn't she? Thomas, did I see the video of the gents from Syria at the border? One was asked what his name was. He said, Aman. He was asked what he's doing. And one in the U.S., he said, no. But I have seen some very disturbing stuff about the border. So the state of Texas is suing the SEC. That's correct, Cindy Lou. And we hope that Ken Paxton, man, he's awesome. Hope that he gets some of that done, makes it work. So what'd you miss, Dave? So much. Gabriel Hayes, can I explain how the finger warrants divvy work? Never had a warrants divvy. It hasn't been officially announced yet, so I don't know all the details. Once the details are out on the warrant or and the dividend, guys, you can believe I will go through every ounce of it. To explain it. But let's go a couple to our stocks right now. Trading Tiger does great stuff. He was saying with those investor mindsets, looking at finger. Those with investor mindset seem to be adding here. Thus, the improved chart over the past 2 weeks. Sentiment improving as expected. Charts telling the story. Can't wait to find out. We've been slowly continuing to accumulate finger and get better and better. So this is definitely ramping up. But I wanted to show you what... Pedro had a really good post on GTI today right here. So talking about GTI, Pedro has been going back and forth with me a lot on this lately, but it says just an observation. I'm not saying GTI is going to 9, but you can see how back in 22, prior to its big run, it had been a nasty downtrend, just like we've been lately. Then had 2 tremors before the big one, common pattern, micros prior to huge moves. In other words, GTI is acting very similarly to the way it did before the last run. So this would be like our downtrend down to 20, that we were just in. You see this right here. That is very similar to what we just went through the last few months. And I mean, look at that. That is 3 months, which is very similar to what we just went to. Then we hit that 61% up on Friday, tremor. Okay, now we're kind of going back and forth at 5-6 cents here and there, 2 cents. We're staying in range. If we get another spike, I mean, just like Pedro's saying, it's very possible we start a ramp up again here soon. So again, during this time, GTI, just like it is now, no deals. Okay, no deals were done. I think they maybe had announced they were trying to get 1-800-lawyers going at this point, but it definitely wasn't signed. And then on top of that, they tried to do a dividend in the summer that did not work. The SEC denied it. And then they did have warrants going for them. And that, but that's very similar to where we're at now. The warrants hadn't been executed yet. So we have dividends that have not been executed yet. We're actually, it's almost like we're in a very similar pattern again. And is it going to play out the same way? There's no way to know. But if it does, we're looking at in the next month, that would be the trend we're on right now. If this was the first tremor when it went up 61% the other day, hey, please close the door. Thanks. And then if we have another bump, and then this would be about mid-March, early April, if the timing ends up the same. So who knows, guys, but I do know liquidity is going to be an issue for them in March. So, okay, Peter says William was being sarcastic. So there you go. Oh, I don't mind her being in here. It's a little harder to focus, but other than that, people attacking Williams the problem. I do think we've been too hard on William. I'll say this: I've had a lot of people. This has been for several months now, in my show or on Twitter, come to me and be like, "William said this. I'm really concerned." And then I go back and listen, and I feel like I don't hear the same thing they hear. And so sometimes you guys, context matters so much. Okay. You're back? Okay. She comes in thunderously. But sometimes William's stuff's just taken out of context. Sometimes he's being facetious. He's being sarcastic. He gets frustrated and says stuff, but I don't think it's always about what people think it is. GTI is not a fundamental play. I would not be in it for fundamentals, no. Thanks, Gary. I know they are precious. Yeah. Where I get my hair from, T-Alex? I love it. Cindy Williams said yesterday, nothing will probably change with GTI because of Reichman being really old and a battle with the young whale. Okay, I don't know about that. What about Microsoft, Jeff? You think the Trento mine might come online soon, Ricky? We're hoping and praying for that. GTI has not done a press release since mid-December. I agree. I'd love to see some life from them. William needs to relax and use comments. William's the reason I'm in these places. William's one of the main reasons I got in and stayed in and learned about him for sure. Ham says retail can't cause a squeeze as an institution like GameStop. So is that the case for all of our plays? I would say retail itself. Okay, so when Ham says that, he's telling us that retail is not going to be the catalyst. Retail is not going to be the thing that sends it. What retail can do and can be a part of is shoring up the bottom and creating more pressure on it. Wall Street loves these short squeezes. We've seen quite a few of them. Even since I've been doing my show the last year, we've seen 2 or 3 massive ones, and we've seen a bunch of smaller ones. They love these short squeezes because it gives them an infusion of cash, and they get ahead and they do it. Every once in a while, what happens is retail catches on, and that's when they double down and they don't want to give it up, because that means they also have to pay us as well as themselves. I believe that's what happened in ZJYL. That's why it's taking longer. It's because retail got in. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. In GameStop, the shorts did not want GameStop to go because retail was going to get paid. But the hedge funds, not all of them, I don't think Citadel was one of the ones that wanted it to go, but other hedge funds did. And they popped it off by all of a sudden huge buy-ins. I don't know all the story on that, but there was a lot of buy-ins from hedge funds that popped GameStop, including Michael Burry. He was a part of it. And he wasn't a hedge fund, obviously. He's just a big whale. But the point is that it takes that to pop these off. GTI and FNGR are no different. Retail itself is not going to make it pop off. What's going to make it pop off is either enforcement on the SEC side, government side, FBI, whatever, or something huge that gives it a bunch more value so big people do dive in, or hedge funds just look at it finally and say, yeah, we want that money. Now the problem is GTI is massive and so is FNGR, and there might be a little bit of systemic risk there. That's what Pedro believes. Pedro believes that if one of these goes off, it's systemic, and because not by itself, but that it'll go one after another, and that one after another will cause a systemic risk because retail's in it. And once retail becomes whales, we can start popping off stocks ourselves. But yes, Ham's right. I mean, so far, retail has not been the one to pop one of these off. Even in Overstock, it wasn't retail that did it. It was a dividend, just like what GTI has done. So that's where you get it. Just Mike, your baby daughter turned 43 last week. Oh, man. I can't even imagine being at that point, but I know it goes fast. My oldest is turning 16 on Saturday, so there you go. I know it goes fast. The Wall Street sharks eat themselves when conditions are right. Yes, exactly. Big JR. Yeah. Or my sippy cup and throws a You have no idea how accurate that statement is, except for the cursing. And we don't have any sippy cups. She's got little frozen cups. So Robinhood took the sell bottom from Hollow and NVIDIA. The sell button or bottom? Brett, on ZJYL, the only thing you notice is a gap between the high and low price of the day is tightening up. Really? I have not seen that. It came out your fingers. Good stuff. Big JR, you were thinking how you talk when you want your sippy cup. You barged down that door. Does a short interest cost play a part in our stocks? Do you mean like what they're paying to keep it short? I mean, they're running out of liquidity. This costs them money to stay in it. And so if that's what you're asking, the answer is yes. The question is, how much does it cost them? And are they being pushed to put up enough liquidity where it's actually hurting them compared to what they're maybe making on other plays right now? Because they're not making anything on Finger, GTII, ZJYL. They're trapped and they're way underwater. So they're not making anything on that. But are they making enough on their other stuff that they're able to just keep up with it? Or like in the case of Alpine, are they in such a bad place that they're willing to take FINRA to court so that they don't even have to pay a measly fine of $2 million because they say it'll bankrupt them? That's also very possible, is that they're not being pushed to put anything up, because especially in the case of GTII went through Alpine, which is a corrupt prime broker, and Alpine itself is about to go out. So maybe Alpine just isn't ever trying to collect anything from the Kramers, which I would not be surprised on at all on that one. So maybe the Kramers are allowed to get away with this, but eventually that goes beyond a prime broker. That's once that risk, those liabilities are held by somebody else, it'll be a major problem very quickly. That could absolutely be a catalyst for a squeeze. Yes, Kilby, 100%. It could. The thing is there's multiple catalysts for all these squeezes. It's just a matter of which one hits. And that's, I mean, for me especially, one of the reasons I love Finger and GTI so much is because there's so many ways they can happen. It can happen from this way over here, this way over there. I mean, I feel like we could come up with anywhere between 4 to 10 catalysts for either of them that could really send them. And that to me says that the odds are on our side, because there's only one way they can keep it down, and that's to keep selling counterfeit shares. And once eventually, if you only have one way out and the other person's got 10, you lose. You're playing a game of chicken, and you need a miracle to get out. And I don't see them getting that miracle. With no liquidity, hedges should be margin called. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. When liquidity's gone, risk, so banks and brokers, if they run out of liquidity, their tolerance for risk goes completely away. So if banks in good times, when everything's going well, real estate prices are going up, everybody's paying their premiums on their loans, everything's good, they will take on much more risk, because they're like, we're making so much money, we can cover it. We can put more in our stores, so that if things get bad, we have stuff to draw from. Once that's gone, it's time to pay up. Time to pay up. We can't do this. We can't let you get away with this anymore. Alpine's legal bill is logically more than fines are at this point. I'm pretty sure you're right about that, Brett. Yeah. Shh, you're so cute. Wait, you're singing. I bet mommy's telling me to go look. Husker, you think they know they're going to be massive squeezes? They're doing anything they can to get people out before they rip. Of course, they don't want retail. And that's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. Your sippy cup will have Bacardi and Coke tomorrow. Your mother. Were you like German or something, raised with rum in the bottle? That old school Austrian, man, they do that. Thought ZJYL would spike up this week. I still think it's any time. Nick, Finger's going to be a monster because of their improving fundamentals, plus the shorts being trapped. Finger will be bigger than Snow. Bigger than Snow? Was Snow up? Is that a funny thing you're saying? Gary, you supporters, word has to start going around that people are having trouble filling their GTI orders. No more shares. Hedge funds might be interested. I mean, think about it. I got word of shares in GTI drying up Friday morning. I did a short video about it. Let you guys know. Oh, she's still not here? Okay, you can sit with me till she gets here. She's run late. So I do a little video about it, get it out there, and then an hour after I put that video up, after I got the news, the stock runs and, runs up 61% a day or 62% a day. Ever since then, it's been trading much more tightly and the bottom's been higher. It tells me that, yeah, I think we might be at the point where they're starting to pile in again to take care of things. So, Jeff, your worst nightmare, ZJYL lends their offshore shorts to dark pools. I mean, who knows? Buy buttons are present on Robinhood. Okay. You bought 862 GTI shares today on Fidelity. I haven't heard of anybody having that GTI problem today or yesterday, but it's Tuesday and Friday, people were having trouble getting orders placed. Oh, Snow's finger comparable. Oh, okay, gotcha. I did not know about that. Was Pedro on DBMM? I didn't heard anything. Snowflake Incorporated. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know anything about Snow. What's Snow's price? Let me look ahead here. So what we're looking at right now, guys, wait, you think 1-800 Law Firm could still? They already said it's over, Ricky. It was in their paperwork in September for their filing paperwork. They admitted that it fell through. So, can I recap the entire GTI story starting from the 80s? Thanks, JR. Yeah, I think was it 81 GTI was born. I don't know. But it is a 40-year-old company. Gabriel, you had 200 shares of NVIDIA last year, bought them 125, sold them 135. Oh man. Well, at least you were green. I don't know anything going on with it's not Ham's movie. It's the only thing I know about that movie is Mark Falk dropped out as a producer, but as far as I know, it's still being made. Mama put bourbon in your bottle to help when you were teething. Yeah, JR, that's what I've heard lots of people say. Vinman got 555 GTI order yesterday. The only filled this morning after a chat with Fidelity. Wow. So there are definitely people still having issues then with GTI, which is interesting. I mean, you go back a few weeks, nobody cared if we were buying GTI. So, but looking at it right now with GTI and Finger and ZJYL, we are at next Friday is March 1st. That's how close we are to March. So we have one trading day, 6 trading days till March. In March, who knows? Next week, it's going to start getting volatile with what's going on in the. Oh, that's mommy. Okay, will you close the door, please? Thank you. So next week we'll start getting really interesting with what's going on with the budget. Okay, House and Senate. Will they get a budget passed? So that starts next week. All right, we're right there. And then we're right into March. And then 10 days from Friday is BTFP being pulled. You better believe banks know this is coming, and they are already starting to scramble for resources, for figuring out how they're going to deal with their liabilities with no liquidity, figure out how they're going to keep money coming if they don't have the money to lend once this is pulled from them. You better believe they're already doing that. In fact, I was talking to Pedro about this the other day, and he said that you know that they're already freaking out about this, that they're preparing for it. So we're right there. NVIDIA very well might have given the market its last gasp to go up for whatever, 1 day, 5 days, 10 days, who knows? But I would be absolutely stunned if the market is green in March. Absolutely stunned. Doesn't mean it'll crash. I can't foresee how this is going to go up. If there are 0 bank failures, then I'm going to have to reassess a lot of stuff. Because we're right there. Banks, I mean, we just saw that the New York bank last few weeks was almost collapsing already with still being in the BTFP program. Regional banks are already struggling. So when all this is going down, And all that volatility is going in there, and all these people are saying, all the risk assessors are screaming, stop, stop letting them get away with everything. We need to start margin calling people. Have you guys seen the movie Margin Call? Once the risk assessment team got hold of it, they went to action immediately when they realized there was a problem. We have to sell this, and we have to liquidate that on going back and forth. Hey, and lots of family tonight, guys. You guys are getting the full picture of my life. And so, but you see, they move fast once that all comes in. Once it comes in, there's a problem. They move fast to fix it. They're not going to mess around. And I believe that's what's going on right now. And trouble's coming for them. And I think it's going to put major pressure on our stocks, which might be why we're starting to see strength, especially in Finger and GTI the last few days, because it might be that they're already gearing up to try and get out lower. So we're going to see. I mean, I can't ever say anything's 100%, but I'm telling you that it sure looks like something's coming in the next couple of weeks for sure. And if Pedro's right, well, he is right about this chart, but if he's right that it could be repeating itself, that would put us right into here. And guys, in my opinion, if GTII has another breakout like this and GTI blasts past 3, 4, 5, it's off to the races. I don't think it stops at 9 this time. Do you guys remember, not here, but in January, is it on this? Yeah, right over here. When it ran to 298, I'll never forget that day. William and I were talking. He was live, and I was chatting with him on his live, and he was responding to me. And we both were saying that it looks like $3 is what they're fighting to stay under. And we both were saying that it looks like if it breaks past 3, very interesting things are going to happen. Well, that day it ran to 298. And when it hit 298, they sold 1 million shares of GTII in half an hour. We haven't seen 1 million volume in a whole day in a while, guys. They sold 1 million shares in half an hour to drive it down from 298 down to about 230. That's how much they didn't want it to pass 3. So I don't know how, if it passes 3 or 4, how they're going to keep it down this time. To me, it's going to have to play out. And if this is truly like an indication of where we could be at right now, that could be coming in the next few weeks. So it'd be very exciting. Media Junkie had 0 issues buying GTI. Well, that's good. I'm happy for you. The other thing could be timing with buying GTI. They could have share. It could just be so tight right now that some people are able to get shares right away because they just happen to put their order in right when they have them, and other people are missing out because it's right then when somebody else's order already went through, and so the other shares are gone. But what it does tell me is that they're not naked shorting it to oblivion right now, because I've had too many people tell me they've had trouble for me to think it's not true. I mean, if it was one person and nobody else ever backed that up, I'd think it's a lie or somebody messed up or something. But at this point in the last week, I've had at least 30 to 40 people tell me they've had trouble buying GTII. That tells me there's an issue. So just because I haven't had an issue or somebody else hasn't had an issue doesn't mean it's not really happening. Joe Pesci won't have to change his New York accent play him. He'll have to speed up though, because in The Irishman, he's old now. He's a little slower. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, my daughter, she's fun. William is Fonz. Nick Lamonaco, you agree with me? In my opinion, I think we ride in the promised land march. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let me catch up with you guys here. Yeah, William played by Henry Winkler. That's who has to play him. We've done this. We've cast this movie before. Do you guys remember? Stoney, 275 was the warrant price. Not sure if the number is still significant. I don't know if it still is. I mean, that was the warrant price, and we blasted past that warrant price at 9. and then held above it for about almost 2 months. Remember when we were hanging out in the 5 zone for a long time? We were at $4 for quite a while there. Pedro is the real deal. He really is. Al Pacino will play ace. Oh my God, Al Pacino. That's a terrible. He's way too old to play me. I'm 40. And let's be honest. I look 35. Look at my hair. It's still good. I still got 30s hair, okay? GTI needs a catalyst. I mean, I'm telling you, the catalyst might be behind the scenes, but the dividend definitely has pressure on them. Vic Song, what do I think is going to happen with AMC if the Trinity of ham stock starts good? Well, Vic Songwriter, unfortunately, I don't think anybody's buying into AMC anymore from if they get these big runs. I really don't. Yeah, I just... AMC has become a bad word in a lot of circles. And as long as Adam Aaron is there, I don't think people are going to be running into AMC in a major way. I just don't. And that's unfortunate because I think AMC, if it ever was forced to squeeze, probably would be the biggest squeeze we've ever seen. But will it ever get to that point? I don't know. I mean, when you have a CEO screwing over his shareholders at every opportunity, every time it's even a little bit close, it makes it impossible to win. So, Dane Cook, how dare you guys? I'm insulted. I don't want Dane Cook to play me. I've always wanted to go on a heist. I still remember that album from college. The guy in the back goes, "Go man, go!" He does that whole heist thing. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Dane Cook, though, kind of annoying. Or the best Dane Cook thing ever was in Waiting. He plays the cook, the chef with the tattoos. Welcome to Thunderdome. Was my mom's dad bald? That's who we take after? I don't believe that, JR. Because, yes, my mom's dad is bald. He's 92. But you know what? He was already balding at this point. I have the hair from my dad's dad. I have dark hair. My grandpa on my mom's side did not have the dark, thick hair like I have. But my dad's side, I have my dad's hair. And my dad was 60 when he died, and he wasn't gray. He had a little gray, but not much. And his dad was 86, and he still had a full head of hair. So I'm saying I'm not going to get that. It's not science, man. I don't have his hair. Don't talk like that. I'm just stay away, JR. I'm not listening to you. I refuse to believe it. John Krasinski will play me. I could live with that, especially buff John Krasinski. Vince, yes, William about a year ago stopped singing since he refuses to acknowledge any of the questions. Don't make William mad at you. Come on, guys. Play the Month is not a good movie. You liked him in that movie? I don't like that movie. Ben Stiller is funny. Best heist movie ever made was Heat. Oh, that's science. Talk about science, JR. That's science. Best heist movie ever is Heat. Yeah. Paulion, you refused to walk into AMC. Yeah. KOP, I have a full head. These guys are jealous. They are that jealous. I know JR is jealous. He's bald as a baboon's ass. I actually don't know if that's true. But I thought I'd say it. Wearing a hat all the time causes baldness. That's not true. That's an old wives' tale. You guys saw Dane Cook? You know what? Dane Cook I thought was funny old days, but I haven't thought he's funny in a long time. Cosmo Kramer. Jerry! Did I hear about the moon landing today? What? There was a moon landing today? No. How did I not hear about this? Phil, what? Blue 5's bald. It's okay. There's nothing against being bald. I just don't want to be it. Only CEOs on retail side are GTO Finger, and in my opinion, yeah. I don't know if they're the only CEOs on retail side, but they definitely are, and they've proven it. So it's hard to have a track record proving you're on the side of retail, and they've done it. So that's what matters. Yeah. Gray hair or keeping your hair length are two different G's. Thank you, Vin Man. See, Vin Man, I'm his buddy right now. Big Jerry, you let me have that one? Okay, I appreciate it. That's funny. Bobcat Goldthwait as Gensler. Oh my god. You guys are funny, man. A private company landed a probe on the moon. Is that true? I'll have to watch it. I wonder, I think I saw somebody tweet about it. They said it looked fake. Vin Man has hair all the way down your back, been going gray. There's nothing wrong with gray. All right, JR. I'll trust that you have beautiful gray hair. It's probably not as nice as mine, though. I just got to give you crap. I think Elon was nominated for a Peace Prize, yeah. John Krasinski, okay, I'll take it. I like it. Hey, Krasinski's great. He's great. Especially modern Krasinski since he buffed up and became an action star. I'm a big fan. Much better than Goofy Krasinski in the early days. All right, guys, let me see what else I had here for you guys. I think I had something else. Let's see. We covered NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, look at this. Okay, so top 5 U.S. companies by market cap are Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, NVIDIA. Currently, the top 5 stocks in the U.S. reflect 25% of the market cap. So 5 companies. That's nuts. Okay. In the .com bubble of top 5 stocks were just 17%. So we were almost 10% over the bubble of 2000, which is the second greatest crash of our, since 87. So it goes 2000 and 08, the 2 greatest crashes since 87. And we are already 10% more top heavy than that. Just 4 years ago, they reflected 18%. Big names are getting bigger. It's unsustainable. So March, man, let's see if that correction starts in March. I never saw Revolver. Fidelity said no way, Jose. On what? What was that, VO? Were you trying to buy more? And they said no? Can you extrapolate that? A bald man once told you there were so many perfect heads in the world, the rest of them have hair. That's what bald people say to make each other feel better. Young Frankenstein. Oh, God. The big eyes. Oh, that was Mandy, not Mandy Patinkin. Man, I know you're talking about Igor. He would be a perfect Gary Gensler. Oh, my God. What hump? Wasn't there a hump on the other? What hump? Walk this way. Which way? No, this way, like this. I love that movie. It's such a good movie. Paulyan, you have a full head of black hair at 42. You'll never hear you make fun of Paul. One of my best friends is bald, and he's been bald since he was like 32. I give him crap all the time. Brett, you're trying to figure out who will play Robert Cook from FINRA. Since where's Walter? Who would play Judge Engeron? Oh, my Lord. I don't know. Some pedophile. Space is fake, yo. Space is fake, yo. I just like that. That's a funny saying. Yeah, guys. Hey, obviously, so we cover Marty Feldman. Thank you, Just Mike. God, what a great actor. So yeah, I've covered everything tonight. You guys, whatever you got, questions, whatever. Otherwise, I can tell we're kind of having some fun tonight. So I'll be reading through the chat, engaging with you guys. Any questions you have, comments, whatever. I've kind of gone through my thing. Stock market, to summarize, stock market's incredibly top heavy. Things are very fragile on the underside, the foundation. We're heading into a thing that's going to March, that's going to test all of that. And so, and our stocks are all in a good position right now and actually gaining strength. So that's the summary of tonight's, everything I wanted to share with you guys tonight. All that. And solar flares. It's all nonsense. At least today's story about solar flares. So there you go. That's where we're at. And from now on, I'm just going to engage with the chat the rest of the night. So if that's not your thing, have a great night. Otherwise, yeah, I'll go through stuff. Yeah, thanks for liking the video, guys. I appreciate that. Your dad lost his hair in his 20s. Oh, my God. On site, just eat good. And, they've actually proven that lots of sunlight is really good for keeping your hair. So, in other words, people who do a lot of stuff outdoors have a better chance of retaining strong hair. I just actually read a story about this the other day. So get outside a lot, man. Don't be a basement dweller on a computer. Ramon, if institutions are what will pop it off, they won't need news to make them want to buy it. That's very true. Yeah. Max Wright from Alf to play. That's perfect. I showed my kids Alf the other night for the first time. They thought it was terrible, but I still like it. Alf makes me laugh. NVIDIA is bigger than the GDP of Canada. That is all you need to know right there. Oh my God. We're in a manufactured AI tech bubble with counterfeit shares, corruption, greed, crash. Ocean sailing, I completely agree. It is such a mess. Such a mess. You met Marty Feldman on a cruise? That's awesome, Jeff. Was he funny in real life too? It's a full moon almost tonight. Is that a sign? I don't know. Maybe. It's funny. We just watched. When I was making dinner for the kids, they had Despicable Me on, and that's all about stealing the moon. So, lots of moon stuff and a moon landing today. I gotta pull this up. Let me see if there's got to be footage on Twitter from a moon landing. I want the current thing. Was it televised? You would think they'd put something out there, right? Private lander makes first U.S. landing in more than 50 years. Is there any pictures or anything? That's not enough. That doesn't make me happy. You spend most of your time in factory. Get outside when you can then, on breaks and when you get home. Mark, you've worked inside the building of your job for 31 years. You're completely bald. Oh, man. Do I think Derrick Henry will get picked up? Man, I'd love if the Niners picked him up. Wouldn't that be a fun 1-2 punch, him and CMC? Maybe we get him for $1 million for a year. Going to casino, Nick? Nice. Finger is big news coming in the month. I do think Finger is right at the verge of releasing news. They've definitely been teasing it. Definitely been teasing it. Have a great night, Barbara. What's up, Fox Hunter? Moon's artificial. Is it just a big cheese ball? Kathy, you race pigeons. You look at the solar flare websites because the flares mess up their internal GPS. Wow. So, Kathy, what did you see as far as solar flares today? So he was a good guy. Well, he seems hilarious, man. His Igor is so funny. Vinman, American trucker confirming a huge underground tunnel system spanning hundreds of miles goes into Washington, D.C. and an entire underground city. What? Hey, Vin, can you maybe share a tweet with me on that or something, if that's where you got it? Northwest, do you think there'll be a nationwide blackout when MOAS happens? Again, I don't know why everybody thinks that they'll do the blackout for the stock market. I just don't. I don't think it's if there's a blackout and it's a large one, and I do think that is very possible. You guys have watched me long enough to know that. I'm just going to close that. You guys have watched me long enough to know I believe that's very possible. I don't think it'll be for the stock market, and I don't think it'll be to prevent short squeezes. Again, we have to sell for them to be able to get out. So that theory does not make sense to me. I know it's a fear people have, but I just don't understand it. Why they would do that. So good night, Blue 5. Moon landing filmed in a Hollywood basement. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Media, was Sonora High any good in sports? You ran track in high school and Sonora was our NorCal rival. So many meets came down. I don't know. It's a good question, Media. They were their football team was really good. Football team was good. I don't know about track. Texas border news. I don't know. Yeah. Dave, you're starting carnivore next week? Nice. Derek will go to Cowboys. He probably will get him. You guys get all the free agents. 11 trade days since ZJYL split. Are they compliant now? Good question, Kyle. I don't know how long that takes. I know they're compliant. It's just whether or not the NASDAQ has recognized it yet. You're the one that sent about cell tours. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kathy. Okay. Yeah, so I know where you feel about that. I'm not going to Google it right now. I'll look it up later, though. So it's fake news, the solar flare. I knew it. Brad, if there's a disruption in communication they're forced to cover, they'll just start sweeping GTC orders. I mean, that's possible, yeah. But I don't think there's enough GTC orders to for them to sweep up and cover. One of the things is that with those GTC orders is that many of them have been canceled the last month. So I don't think a lot of people have them out there like they used to. I didn't see Bono's dedication sign that. No, I didn't. He got on Jimmy Dore. I'll have to go look at the Jimmy Dore video. I didn't see Peanut Butter Falcon, no. You wanted to raise pigeons or your saddle is too big? Nice. Yeah, the government needs the capital gains too, so there you go. In fact, speaking of that, I just read a story that people are getting their tax refunds, and they're like 40% less than what people were getting last year. That's because income's been much less. That's a huge drop. Huge drop. If that average holds, because last year the average return rebate or refund, tax refund was like $1,900, and this year it's $1,300. There's been no tax laws changed, guys. So that tells me that people's incomes have gone way down, and the media is not. I mean, that's not showing up. It's showing up in data if you look in the right places, but that's not showing up in the reports from the media. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And a lot of people rely on that money every year to give them a buffer for going into the rest of the year. So that's a big problem. But that also means there's a lot less tax receipts coming in. So people are a lot less, the government's getting a lot less taxes. So yes, they're going to definitely want us to pay a bunch of capital gains tax. All right, I'll look at that trucker link when I get off, Finn. Thanks. I heard Trump say that about Tulsi Gabbard, yeah. But it's Trump, you know. He could have just been offered all that stuff and he just wanted to be nice. So he said yes to every name that came up. So I don't know if he really means it. Did I know a Josh B from Bethel? Josh B? I would have to know the last name. So. Have I talked about that fact? I went to Bethel before? Or you guys researching me? Not needs to see the humor tonight and get school. Yeah, where is Not? I miss Not. One thing a woman never asked me for was hair. You'll be married 30 years and I'm young. Good for you, man. You've been around those tunnels, kiddies? No way. Are you serious? Wow. You made 25% more in 20. I mean, I had a better year in 23 than 22 also because of my new job and stuff. But it's not. You and I are in the rare case. Most people are not doing better right now. Most people are not. And I'll say, even though I've been making more, I got a better job. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation. So it's rough right now. Yeah, I know Tulsi would definitely pull some people in for Trump. The thing is I like Tulsi. I think she should have a place in his administration, all that. I don't know if I'd want her to be president if Trump died. She's a little left for me. No, Bethel in Redding, California. Yeah, I went to school, ministry school at Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry in Redding, California. Yeah. You know, if you guys are Christians, you ever listen to Christian music, it's like Bethel music dominates Christian radio. And it's either their songs on there or remakes of their songs half the time now. So that's where I went to school. Yeah. Where I went back to school, I should say. I did my college years at Fresno Pacific. So, no, Bethel's not a school for girls, no. In fact, some people call it the Bethel School of Supernatural Marriage because so many people get married there. You used to live by Pentagon Row, owned a legal business in DC. Oh, wow. I've heard DC sucks to live at. I've visited twice. I do think it's beautiful. I mean, I've only been to like the nice parts with the mall and everything. And I do like seeing all of our monuments, all that. I think that's fun. And Smithsonian, that stuff. But living there, I've heard just sucks unless you're doing well. Let me put it that way. Why did the singer go to the moon? He wanted to make the moon. Oh my God. The moon rock? That's bad. How's the moon go and Sarah eclipse it? Have I listened to Gregorian chants? My dad used to listen about those. I don't. Pedro's still tweeting about Niner stuff. Get out of here. He's crazy. It's a vampire's favorite type of moon. That's a blood moon. Yeah, you guys are funny. Ha ha ha. Josh Baldwin. That sounds really familiar, actually. I didn't know him well, but that name sounds familiar. There, I was in a class of 2,000 people, so it's not like I knew everybody. But yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, any last stuff, guys? I'm going to close out here. And I would say there's probably a good chance I'm on tomorrow. I just think I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. So I'm going to plan on being on tomorrow, and if it ends up being really boring, maybe I won't. But members live this weekend. I see some people who used to be members. I don't know. Sometimes you guys get gifted a membership and then you don't realize it expires. It expires after a month. It's $3 a month. That's all I ask. I do usually 3-4 extra lives a month for the members. And I'm working on hopefully doing something more for memberships and revamping that. But so if you were a member and you've lost it, if your name's not green right now and you want to re-up before this weekend to catch the live, now's your chance to do it. I think there's a lot going on, but oh no, that's definitely not the Bethel I went to, Thomas. No, I went to Bethel. It was a church that has a huge school. So, but anyways, yeah, definitely not Mason. Sorry. But yeah, so anyways, if you guys want to do that, go for it. We'll have a members live this weekend. I really enjoy members lives. It's much more laid back. You guys can usually ask me anything. We cover fun stuff. We go on deep dives of whatever people want to talk about. Sometimes it gets really fun and weird. Yeah. And so it's a good time. It's a good time if you want to be a ace hole and join the membership. So for $3 a month, that's it. And the members actually got a secret from me last weekend. I found out something I've been working on that I hadn't talked about. So that was fun. But thank you, Brenda. That's really sweet of you. So there you go. 5 new members. Dave's back in. On-site's in. Clay, Bug, and Gabriel Maldonado. Welcome, guys. So maybe I'll see you guys this weekend. But anyways, for tonight, I'm going to just close in a quick prayer and bless you guys to go out. So, all right. So, Father God, we love you and thank you for all you're doing. And God, I just pray for God. Today is a wild day in the markets, and I just pray that you continue to give us wisdom to steer us in the right direction, so that we all make the best choices for ourselves and our families in this very volatile and crazy time we live in. I pray that you protect all the good people out there, Lord. And God, if anything's going on with blackouts or if our government's doing anything crazy, I just pray you protect us as much as possible and help us prepare for any times up ahead. And I also pray, God, that just against the plots of anybody who has ill will towards good people, Lord, whether they're government or some people on the street, whatever. I just pray you protect everybody. And I also pray that you just prosper us, Lord, in making good investment decisions. And Lord, just in these stocks that are corrupt and manipulated and attacked, I just pray that justice comes, and we see it here soon as possible. In Jesus' name, amen. Bless you guys. Have an awesome night. Thank you again for those memberships. And